Bro, Big Brother starts in like 2 weeks.
It's crazy to me. I was talking to Gavin. I was like, it doesn't hit. It don't feel like it used to, right?
No, it feels like it for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bro, Big Brother starts in like 2 weeks.
For me, I just need to like be like, it's just because school ends and then that's when Big Brother. But now that I'm not in school, it just feels like any other day.
Yeah.
That's me.
You'll get more hype when the cast comes out.
It's the week before. That's what gets me.
Yeah.
All right. Hey Josiane. How's it going, guys? Let me pull up the cast.
Oh boy.
I was gonna have some fancy stuff like put it on the screen, but now I was running low on time and now I'm too lazy. Okay. We're gonna start with season one.
Are we just talking about like people in general? Like what's the vibe?
Players. We're gonna talk about the players. Talk about what they need to change. Talk about previous games they've played. You can literally just talk your shit on here if you really want to. I'm gonna talk my shit about some people.
Oh God. Okay.
Season 1.
Okay, let me get hated on some more, I guess.
All right, Josiane, you can talk about this person because you know them personally. First up, we're gonna talk about. Can you guys see that?
Oh. Oh, I don't know them personally, to be fair. I just know them through like the banishment community. So
what do you think of Pregame as a player from what you've seen?
It's hard because immediately, just like my introduction of Pregame, like people are like, you can't trust him. Really? And so I've never been in a position in a game where I've like necessarily really wanted to work with Pregame. A lot of the times I have other allies that are in there that I feel more comfortable or I trust more. And so watching season 1 and seeing that there was this like big loyalty alliance actually kind of surprised me because like that's not the reputation that I like he's known for having, at least to my perspective. He's never really done me wrong too much, but so I was really surprised to see it what happened. But I do think that he played a really good game up until he just like promised the game away. Like that was incredibly like, no offense, but it was kind of dumb. Like I get that like loyalty is everything, but when it's final two, who cares? Like
that's what I'm saying. Like you're like, Pregame a snake. Pregame a bitch. No, bro, no way. So Jalen, season 1. So final 3, it's Sophia, Price, Pregame. Sophia wins immunity, but she loses to both Pregame and Price. So she chooses the winner. Pregame and Price are both like, I'll take sixes, let you win. Mm-hmm. Sophia's like, fuck it. I believe Pregame the most. Sends Price home. Price was like, yeah, I was lying. Whatever. Pregame, we thought Pregame was lying too. Pregame takes the sixes and let Sophia win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up until then, I was just like, I thought Pregame would have it in the bag. Everyone thought pregame that Pregame would be their GOAT, right? They all viewed Pregame as weak, as a random player. Okay. And Pregame took full fucking advantage of it. And it was beautiful to watch. And Pregame is the winner of season 1 if he just doesn't do that. Like, he played smart until then.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have any personal experience playing with Pregame, but hearing that, I mean, yeah, that's crazy. If literally all you have to do is take threes and you win.
I don't exactly. Players watching, if you're in the final cycle, take threes and steal. That's all you do. It doesn't matter how many steps you have, you take threes and steal. It is just it's just like, how can I put this into other terms? Like, I don't know. You shove when you have quads if you play poker, right? You get it in, right? You there's simple things that you have to follow in strategic aspect that you don't realize when you play for the first time. And I think it's going to happen again season 5. They're going to do some crazy ass shit. Like no cycle has gone perfect yet. The only person that's only took threes is Jalen. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just literally like, you just have to do it. I mean, but it sounded like he was aware of what he was.
He really wasn't.
What he was doing.
Was the last person I cast. I cast the day before. I explained the rules to him. He was like, fuck it, I'll do it. He's from India, right? So he had just woke up to play the game. So, I don't fault him as much.
Go ahead.
Just throwing away the win to me is, I don't know.
He didn't mean to. Okay.
So he knew that he was losing? Or he knew that
he didn't realize. Here's where he took a 6, right? He was like, I'll keep to my word. I'll take a 6. He's still winning, right? He's that far ahead of Sophia. Then he's like, I don't want to take a 6, Sophia, because then I'll lose. What do you want me to take? And Sophia's like, I don't want to be number 1. Will you take a 5? And he's like, okay, I'll take a 5. And once he took that 5, he was just behind by 3 steps, maybe. I don't know. And then obviously, like, this is the problem. The alumni from class, like Manny joins the call, Ryan, just boom, boom, boom. You're dumb, Pranoy, you're dumb. And he's like the sweetest guy ever. So I'm like, Pranoy's never playing again. So the fact that he's back when he could have won season 1, I'm actually excited to see Pranoy play. I like Pranoy. He's interesting.
I think Pranoy is an interesting player for sure. Like, he does bring, like, when I watch games and that he's in, like, Pranoy usually brings it. And he usually, like, brings a little bit of the drama, whether he's involved or not. Like, somehow he's kind of, like, in the middle of it sometimes, which is, like, a good thing and a bad thing, depending on how you use it. I don't understand, like, and it's just like a general sense, why don't players do their homework? Like, you texted me and you were like, do you want to play this game? Oh, now he left.
Yeah, it happened earlier. He said, yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I should continue or not. God, well. And he's back.
I think I need to plug my computer in. I think that's
probably. I'll wait until you come back, bestie.
Well, I'm right here. Don't worry. Keep going.
Okay. But what I was saying is that I don't understand players who don't do their homework. When you texted me and you were like, this is the game, like, obviously I knew going in that I was gonna, like, dumb down how much I knew about it. But I went and I dived into the YouTube archives. I could only find 2-3 videos. I watched season 1. I wrote notes on season 1. Like, I did my homework. Like, I don't come to play games to lose. I'm sorry. That's just not my vibe personally.
That's a good point. Because, yes, you did your homework. And then the whole time, what'd you say? Oh, I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh. Every player does that. So, like, when it came to season 4, I was hosting season 4. I had about 9 pretty much new players. And the whole time they're like, whew, this is so confusing. I'll take 3 steps, right? They know what they're doing. Yeah. And that's what I'm looking for, because I was so sick of it. Because they would angle it, right? They would ask me questions that they already knew the answer to come off as dumb. And I got so sick of answering it. Like Brooklyn would play so fucking dumb. And I knew she knew what she was doing too. Same with all of them. They always know what they're doing. Season 5.
But they can't do that anymore.
They can't do it, and I'm pumped. Yeah. I can't play. I have no idea what I'm doing. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, you've played this before? Let's vote you out. No. You've all played it now. I'm sick of it. I was so sick.
No, I like that you can't do that. I wrote in the YouTube chat when I was watching Brooklyn season. I went, Brooklyn knows what she's doing. Like, y'all could find my comment. I said, she's capping. She's capping just to cap. Like, she knows what she's doing.
She didn't read the rules before. Yes. Do I think she read all of them during the first cycle? Yes. I think by the end, she knew exactly what she was doing. All right, but next player. Season 1. I would do Manny, but Manny is no longer playing.
What?
I know.
So
we'll get him on a future season. But let's do Kyler Miller.
Oh.
How do you feel about Kyler?
Robbed.
Are you on bad terms with Kyler?
Who's in terms with Kyler?
Is anyone? Sometimes. Kyler is hit or miss for some people.
Kyler's been nothing but nice to me. So
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm not on bad terms. I personally, I mean, I don't think he'll be connected enough to have a chance at winning, but I know he knows what he's doing and he's a smart kid. So he'll definitely he'll make moves and he'll be around, but I don't think that he'll be connected enough in the main group or whatever the case may be to be able to make a run at winning.
I can say this. I think I've seen a lot of players evolve, right? I've known Kyler since he was, I don't know how old he was, 13 years old, and just garbage at games, absolute garbage for the longest. Still, I see him hit some games. Shout out Kyler. He'll hit some games. Just no one knows him. People hate him, whatever, and he's out. But it's ever since he's kind of grown into this little Peter Viver kind of area, and he's kind of hit these real niche games. He'll have the most random connections, right? but sometimes he doesn't take full advantage of those connections. Like, he is a player that he plays for himself, right? He's strategic. He loves to talk on call. I'm bringing him back because he actually brought some fucking good lines to season 1. Like, he was hilarious to me. And he knows the game. He's kind of like nerdy in that sense where he likes the game. No offense, Kyler, that's me too. But he does not take advantage of these players that are maybe not as smart as him. He doesn't necessarily like create a goat, or not a goat, a sheep in the way us 3 could, right?
Right.
What he needs to do is he needs to find players, and this is no offense to the players I'm gonna list off. Bunny is extremely loyal. If Kyler could go to Bunny and get Bunny like riding for Kyler's got someone, because Kyler gets to the end game and he never has someone that's, I'll bring you to the end, bro. Like, he never has that final 4 player. He needs to, if he can build one of those in the beginning of this game and have someone, even Tyler Biden, like, that would be a good one for him. He never takes advantage. He always goes for, who did he work with in season 1? Like, he always goes to work with like maybe the Sophias or maybe the Prices, right?
Yeah.
And that's not what you want to do. That's not what you want.
I think a lot of it comes down to also is like confidence. Like, when you're playing, like, you can be smart, which I think he's as smart as anybody that's going to play. You know what I mean? Like, I know he's smart. So he knows how to play, knows how to do the strategy, knows how to make moves, when to make moves. But a lot of times it comes down to confidence and exuding that to the other players and kind of like being able to build those relationships. Like, I think a lot of because I have had my fair share of people who will absolutely ride for me throughout games. Like, and
for no reason too. Sometimes.
Yeah.
You'll be it's just Twitter for a year, and you'll still have someone.
Yeah, it's completely random too in terms of who it is. Like, you just make a connection with that one person that nobody sees coming, and it works. And I think a lot of that has to do with just being confident in yourself and like throwing yourself out there and just being able to just exude yourself as like the game player that's going to win. You know what I mean? I always tell myself from the beginning of games that if I make it past first boot, I'm going to win. So,
jeez, okay.
Justin,
I work with that. No, I was gonna like to add to Jalen's point. I think Kyler specifically has like what I've seen from season 1. He makes valid and great points. Like, he literally called Pernod winning. I mean, no one could call that move at the end from Pernod, obviously, but like, he has a good grasp on the game. It's just being convincing, because like when it seems like you're like almost drowning and you're still making good points, like, no one's gonna believe you. Whereas like if you sell it with conviction and confidence, then I feel like you're listened to a little bit more. And I think if I could compare, like, just give you like a comparison person, Price makes points, and a lot of the times they're very similar. But the way he goes about it with conviction, like, makes people listen a little bit more to Price than they would Kyler, even though Kyler makes maybe the same point, maybe better points, who knows? And so I think that's something he needs to work on, because when he was speaking and he was in trouble, he was totally valid. And so I just wish, I hope that he works on those social connections so that he can have those big groups, because a lot of the time in what I've seen in the past seasons is having these big groups, these big alliances. If he's in them, then he needs to figure out when to jump ship if he's at the bottom of it. If he's not in them, he needs to dismantle it or figure it out and grab everyone around them. But that also has to do with conviction at the end of the day as well.
Yeah.
And speaking on the confidence thing, Kyler needs in the calls, right? If he would present himself and like talk his shit a little more, like, I wish he would, because he always knows the game, right? He always has the math down, and he kind of won't talk his shit until the going gets tough. The going will get tough, and then he'll start campaigning like, this is what you need to do. But when you do that last minute and you tell Pernod, you need to keep me, Pernod, because this is what's going to happen, or keep me, Josh, because this is what's going to happen. You don't have that social capital from throughout the whole game. You have to build it. Like, you can't go up to a stranger and convince them to do something. In life, if I have one conversation with someone, that I am 10 times more likely to get them do something I want rather than going up to them and just asking them to do something I want. Kyler needs to spend the whole game building these social connections, and then when the going gets tough, if he has these people he's been riding for, you have Tyler Biden, you have Bunny, you have God knows who else is next to you. You go to them, you say, this is what you need to do. They're going to be like, yes, that is what I need to do. Because you know the game, Kyler, and you have been by my side this whole time. That's what he needs to do, and he can win the game. All right.
Yeah.
Next player from season 1, I think the last player from season 1, we've talked about him a bit. The favorite to win, in my opinion. Can we see that?
No, it's blurry.
Is it Price?
It's Price. Price is back, and man, I am rooting for him.
Yeah, I have to. I don't know who everyone on the cast, but Price is definitely up there for me. Like to root for. Like again.
Oh, he dropped again.
I don't know what to do. Oh my god.
Oh, goodness Price.
Oh, Price. Have you ever played with Price before?
Oh yeah. I've met Price in real life, so.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Keep going. What were you saying about Price?
Oh, every time you drop, I just stop talking. I'm like, I don't know if I should keep going. Okay.
And I'm probably not going to edit it. So
okay, cool.
Gonna be, I might edit it now. Who knows? But
no, I was gonna say after when you hit me up and you were like, "This is the game," blah blah, and I watched season 1, I immediately went to Price. I'm like, "Give me more," because I feel like out of the whole cast, personally, Price is the most like confident, but also talkative, but also strategic. I feel like a lot of people think that you have to play games and just like in DMs and like hide in corners, which is like fine. I mean, do what you think is best. But I tweeted this the other day. I was like, I respect people who I respect winners who are active and who are constantly talking and still doing stuff behind the scenes than like someone who's just playing in DMs, like not to invalidate people's wins if that's what they do. But I like players that that present themselves that way. And Price is definitely one of those people. And he's very strategic. And I think when a lot of people who are confident and who like talk, people are like, oh, they're just talking to talk, but there's a lot more going on. That's what I've seen. Like, you're a good example of that, Dominic. Like, you'll talk and you're like, oh man, can this kid shut up? But like, you actually have purpose and you actually are making points and you're doing things behind the scenes. And I think Price is that too. And I think people kind of like don't listen to Price, even though Price always makes valid points. It's actually crazy to me. If you look back at season 1 and you look at all the points that he made, they're so valid. And pretty much Sophia was picking who was winning. And she had an alliance with Prenoy the entire time. If Price had that one relationship with Sophia, he would have been the season 1 winner.
The thing is with Price, he has a very versatile toolkit. I will give him that. He does make valid points, but he makes just as many nonsense points. Just absolute, makes no sense, but he just spits it out there and confuses them enough that it works. That's 99% of his game is just talking to talk.
Yeah,
no reason.
I think that with Price, obviously Price has all the tools to be a very dominant player in any game that he plays, but he needs to work on his in game, right? And because he always makes it to final 3, final 4. And I think the reason why he struggles with the end game is because during the game, he's too spontaneous. I think that any good player, typically by the time you get to the second cycle or the second week of a game, if you feel like you have a chance at winning, you kind of know your roadmap to that, right? Like you have it pretty much well planned out. Now you might have to make an adjustment or you might have to fix something along the way, but you have it planned out. Whereas I think Price doesn't necessarily plan things out, or he may plan things out, but something may come up and he may do something spontaneous, like try and make a big move or try and, do something for entertainment element of it. You know what I mean?
About to say that.
Whereas I think if he just came up with a plan, because he has all the tools, he can win anything that he plays. But I think that he just needs to work on his end game. And a lot of the time you set yourself, literally the end game is the easiest part of the game if you set yourself up in the beginning for it. So I just think he needs to work on his end game. And
I'm all for entertainment. Price brings it. But there's to a point, number 1 goal in games, in my humble opinion, is to win. It should be to win, right? Number 2 can be bring entertainment, right? Be entertaining. Price has no reason to steal from everyone in the first half, right? Like, I get it. Like, fucking Price is hilarious. He's stealing from 3 different people for no reason. But, like, when it comes down to it, they just think, Price stole from me about 6 times during the duration of this game. Like, even though he's voted with, like, I don't know. I don't get it personally. But yeah, Price just kind of does it, and no one faults him.
Okay, my question to you both, since you both seem to have the same opinion, is do you think Price is just a player that adapts very well, so he doesn't really care of the consequences, or he like shifts a lot throughout this game to like navigate his spontaneity? Like, what do you think?
I think kind of opposite to Kyler. I think he has a lot of confidence, almost like too much confidence, where he thinks that he can do certain things and work his way out of it. You know what I mean? Because like steal steps from everybody for entertainment. And then he thinks, oh, I can just kind of overcome that or work my way through that. You know what I mean? So I think, I just think that he is overconfident and too bold sometimes. Whereas sometimes in order to win, you have to be boring, right? Like I've gotten plenty of flack throughout my games for being a boring player. But at the end of the day, it's like, to me, what's entertaining is a good game player and good strategy. And that's most entertaining to me. So we can sit here and scream and yell and do crazy things all we want. But at the end of the day, who's going to win? Right. So I think that if he would mix the perfect amount of entertainment and strategy and setting himself up for the end, he would literally be the perfect player for any game. So that's my opinion.
This goes for all Twitter games. Anyone can attest. There's games I've won where I've been quiet the whole time. Josiane, there's games you've won where you've probably been quiet for a lot of the time. There's games Jalen's won where he's been quiet. We've all won games multiple times in different ways. Price is one high note. He is at the top every game he plays. He is dynamic, versatile, talkative. How many games have you seen Price win, Josiane?
I haven't seen Price win any games.
Let me not dog him. I don't know his career, his Twitter history. I can't say too much.
The thing, well, have you like? I mean, I don't keep up with everyone, but I mean, I see games on the timeline. I don't think I've seen Price win a game.
I don't think he has. I don't think he has.
But the thing with this cast is not only is it second chances. No one's won essay revival. No one on this cast has won old essay either. All the classic players have never. So Price, as an amazing player, as far as he makes it, he is doing something wrong. He's not, and it. I mean, I can't really pinpoint exactly what he's doing wrong because every time he's lost, it's been a completely fucked up reason. Like he gets just fucked, right? So maybe he's unlucky rather than a bad player, but I don't know. He does something right in the sense he gets far. I think that's the confidence he exudes, the connections he builds, whatever. There is some level of distrust in the end, or I don't know. People kind of just fear him a little bit in the sense he talks. I don't know.
I think it could be a fear thing too.
There is players on this list that I know he's worked well with before. I don't think he'll be viewed as a tight duo. So if he can just get some numbers behind him like he always does, ride it out to the end and maybe be quiet near the end, that could maybe be his best bet. I really couldn't. I'm no better than him to coach him on anything at all. So I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do.
Guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. Yeah. All right. Next player we're moving into Josiane's season.
Jeez.
We have King. King is back.
Oh.
King is okay. King lost the game because
I have to laugh.
It was King, Noel, Josiane, final three. King and Noel are tied for steps, and tied in the sense that either of them could win if they hit a final cycle. Josiane leads both of them with the tiebreaker vote in her hand. Noel wins immunity, what any logical player does right here, not calling Noel illogical, but in the sense you destroy immunity, you vote with King to vote Josiane out, you versus King in a randomizer, who wins?
Right.
Noel is a very loyal player. I can attest to him. He is good to his word 99% of the time. And he was right. Josiane kind of came into this game. I casted season 2 specifically for the purpose that there were no duos, there were no friend groups. Everyone was picked from different parts of Twitter, from off of Twitter. No one really knew each other. Josiane grabbed the one person that she might have had a chance to manipulate in that sense and somehow convinced Noel that this was the game he needed to throw away for her to win. and he kept immunity. Literally, if you want to watch, I posted that video, Jalen.
I saw it.
Josiane, Noel's like flustered. He goes, Josiane, what do I got to do for you to win?
Yeah, I saw that.
Josiane, in cold-blooded, keeps it. She sends King home, beats Noel. She just shot both of them in the chest. And Noel shot King in the chest and then shot himself. That's what happened. King just kind of sat there. The thing where King went wrong, did not speak up. Did not speak up that whole time. Just let it happen. And that's really it. King just needs to talk. King needs what Price has. If King just talk, King's winning the game any day.
It's crazy because post our season, because I think me and King followed each other, or we didn't. I couldn't tell you, but like I knew of King, but not really enough to like feel comfortable to make a relationship. But was King added last minute? Like replacing Cat? Was that what yes. King did?
King was the last minute addition.
Okay. So at that point, pregame, I fucking hate pre-gaming. I hate the small talk. Just tell me you got me and be honest with it. We can move. I really don't like it, but it helps when you have like someone reach out to you at that point. And like, I don't think me and King communicated until like, I think what happened is that me and Bryce and then me and Bunny had conversations. And then Bryce was like, oh, I was talking to Bunny and I'm good with King. So let's just make a final four. I was like, that's a little suspicious. Yeah. That's a little weird. Like, why would you just do that? So me and King never had a conversation. And like Bryce was like our centerfold, but at that point, Bryce was talking to everyone and anyone. So I'm like, I gotta shoot at Bryce. So then once Bryce is gone, it's like me and King don't have a relationship. And it's like week like 5, 6. It's like there was no relationship with me personally. I can't speak on everyone else, but because there's no relationship there, I felt comfortable voting for King. I think I voted for King twice. Because I was like, I don't really.
There was also, you were able, after all that, there was Final Four. It was pretty much Bunny's like, I'm voting Josiane here. Josiane's voting Bunny. And King's the decider voting out of left field. Sends Bunny home. I don't know. Josiane literally just convinced King to vote. I mean, it was simple as that. King could have chose to bring, it was just a sense of loyalty. Who did King want to bring to Final Three? He chose Josiane and then faced the repercussions. So.
Yeah, it sounds like he's just another one of those like timid players that is just kind of in the weeds and but hey, you never know.
I like him.
King has personality. That's what's crazy to me. Like postseason, I'm like, oh, I fuck with King. But like prior to that, it was like even during the Zoom, I was like, James was like off camera and then King was like right there above James, or I was just like, I don't know really what's going on because there's no conversation like on Zoom or in my DMs.
He's not as much timid as he is just soft-spoken, I think. He's just a bit soft-spoken. King has it up here, loves the game. He was the first person I sent the invite out to because I knew he would say yes, and with it, he was the first person to say yes as well. Because I wanted King back. I wanted to see him show it. I've casted him for pretty much a lot of games now. It's BBC Man this. And I'm just waiting for King to just show up in a game and just fucking fight with someone and just bring his shit. Like, I just want him to do it. Because I see it in him. He just has this look about him, and his fucking name's King. His name's King. Like, imagine he was like Legend, and he was like voting someone out, and he was like, "That's why my name's King, bitch." Like, fucking dope. I would love that shit. So yeah.
Is this gonna be shown before the game starts, or okay? So has there been pre-gaming like so far?
There will be no pre-gaming.
Okay. I like it.
Nice. Okay.
I like it. I like that.
I'm sure people are DMing people. Are you on the season?
Yeah. It's sure. Thing. So I trust most people, but I'm sure they're doing their little, are you on the season? Okay, let's work together. Whatever. They can do that. I think it's all going to go out the door. Unless I don't think
I don't think it matters, to be honest, because I literally didn't start pregame until an hour before the game. So
I will say, there's 13 players, right? But and the first cycle will be 13 players, but the rest, I won't say what happens, but stuff does happen. But the first cycle will be 13 players, so that'll be very interesting to see how the soft-spoken players interact and the Price.
Yeah, well, with more players, you're naturally going to have people who even would be louder and more vocal be more soft-spoken just because there's so many. You know what I mean? Like,
let's put a bet. Do we think Price will steal the first cycle every time?
Yeah. Well, every time? No.
All three times. 12, 18. He did season 1. He's done
probably. It. Yeah, he'll probably just do it just to do it.
Just to do it.
I think it really depends on who's on the cast, and because if someone doesn't have a good relationship with Price, immediately Price is just like gonna take shot. Price does not give a fuck, and that's what I love about Price. But like I think if he's in a good position, like socially, I think he's one of the I mean we haven't seen all the cast, but Price has been here for a while. So I feel like there's relationships that are automatically he's gonna be more likely to have relationships with people than like, let's say, I don't know, like Bunny, even though Bunny like is great.
Let's talk about Bunny right now. Bunny's up next. Bunny's up next.
Okay, we can talk about Bunny. Bunny is the most scared. Like he was one of the scariest players to me my season, personally, even though we had a good relationship, because he's so unpredictable, and I would rather face an enemy I know than an enemy that is unpredictable.
Josiane, Bunny's pronouns are they, them.
Oh my god. Sorry.
You fucked it up in season 2, and you're like they, them, and you're like, I think it's your accent. Maybe you just, I don't know, but it is they, them.
Okay, sorry.
It'll be okay.
Bunny is so unpredictable.
Yeah.
That it's scary. Like
Bunny is sick to watch.
Because me and Bunny season 2. We're like, we got each other, blah, blah. And I genuinely felt that way because what game was it that we all played together? Was it Nick's game? Nick's fast game?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. So Bunny and I didn't really play together, but it started a relationship. And so coming into the season,
that's where I kind of was like, okay, Bunny's cool.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, I can work with them because we have that pre-existing something. And like, they were tight with Bryce, and then when I brought up the fact that Bryce is connected with everyone, Bunny goes out of their way to say, "Oh, I'm the one who voted for Bryce," which took me by surprise because I'm like, I thought you would be more loyal to Bryce than me. So it like I was like, okay, maybe we're on the same page. We're just not communicating. And then they throw me under the bus, and then I was like, Like Bunny is a scary player because they're so unpredictable. And so this season, I don't know, because Bunny is very social, but the fact that they're a little unreliable is a little nervous and like nerve-wracking to me.
Bunny is social, but for me, I trust Bunny, and Bunny never has to like social game with me. But from what I've seen, I've hosted Bunny. Bunny's a very surface level social, a very kind of how's the weather kind of, oh my God, Queen, I love you so much. So glad to play with you.
Yeah.
No one wants to hear that anymore. Cut to the chase. Be like, let's fucking work together. You down? All right, cool. That's all you need to do. Bunny's like, what's your favorite music? I love SZA. Like every time, like that's what their thing is. They like to social game in that aspect. It's not the real thing, right? This isn't Big Brother real life, right? You don't have to do that. This is everyone's here to win, to strategize, whatever. Keep it strategy, right? Now, obviously, use your use your brains, right? If that person does require that and they spit it at you, give it to them, right? If there's some person from Facebook and they're 30 years old and that's what they do every game, talk about music if you want, right? But for most people on Twitter that know who you are, have played games with you, have played this game before, just be like, who would you like to vote out? I'm thinking this person, whatever. Cut to it, Bunny. That's what I want to see, because Bunny is cold-blooded. If they really get down to it, they are a cold-blooded player. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck what happens. And I'm looking.
Bunny needs to review the rules too. That's something I'll say.
Yeah,
the whole double up situation.
Yeah. That was my fault. That was my fault. I didn't ask for the double up play, and so Bunny thought they still had it and they were gonna use it, but I just got straight to the votes and I forgot to ask Bunny for it, and then Bunny didn't realize they lost it, right? And that was my fault. But
I will say, out of curiosity,
that was funny as fuck when that happened.
No,
Bunny was trying to play this double up that they didn't have, and I think Josiane has the real one.
Yeah, like Bunny was calling me a liar. I was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm just curious if their past game in season 2 will bite them in the butt, because if I mean, sometimes I go a little crazy in these games. I'll bring my notebook out. I'll review people. I'll like study who they follow, whatever. Okay.
Now hear this. Don't let Josiane fool you next time.
I mean, you know me. I literally I didn't play games until you asked me. Like I stopped for a while. So the fact that you even had me on season 2, I was fighting to say no, but I was like, you know what? I have to help my friend Dom out. But I would go and look at past seasons and see what players did and what type of players they were. And seeing Bunny's game would freak me out because, again, enemy versus like someone who is spontaneous and you can't always rely on them is worrisome. That's just how I feel as a player.
Yeah, so I'm trying to take myself out of Dominic and put myself into a player that, let's say, never plays with Bunny, whatever. I don't know if I would trust Bunny. I don't know. Jalen,
Bunny though.
Bunny, or you don't?
I don't really know Bunny that well, so yeah. It sounds like they're a player who is.
Do you know John from season 2?
No.
You didn't know John? I played like Demonicas with John. And
the name sounds familiar, but
do you know what he looks like?
He won Peter Viver, no?
Yes.
The name sounds very familiar, but I don't know what's their.
Wait, is John playing again?
John _Y_L, I think. Yes, John's back. That's the next player.
Oh God.
Oh, does he have to love with John? I forgot about that.
Whoa, I'm not in love. No, I'm laughing because what you told me during the reunion about John, which is why I laughed. Because how are you going to pregame with everybody on the cast except for the 2 people who are in final 2?
Yeah, yep. That was, well, he didn't reach out to anyone. He was reached out to. I'll say that if that helps his case.
He did reach out to me though, like an hour, like 30 minutes before the game.
He did the 2 people he hadn't talked to the hour before.
So. Hey, and then you're slaying on Zoom.
But this has no pregame. This is no pregame this season. Listen, I think John's got everything that it takes. He's got it. I mean, I have no criticism on John at all. He's got it. He's got the X factor. If he was consistently playing these games, he'd be just like us, in my opinion. He won games back when I was like 15, 16 years old. He was off Twitter for 3 years. Peter probably got him back. He won Peter Viver, left, and then now he's back for this. That's it. I think John's up there. I think he's got it. He's got the charisma. He's got the strategy. He's fucking cutthroat. I'll tell people, I warned Jedediah when he played with John and Peter Viver. I said, John's the biggest snake I have ever played with in my entire life. And
I don't like those kind of players.
Jed worked with John. I told Jed after the fact. I told Jed when he signed up, I was like, work with John. That's my boy. He worked together. I was like, oh, by the way, John's the biggest snake I've ever played with in my life. Jed goes, I know. He just cut me at final 3. Just like, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Because John does. He completely views it as a game. He does not give a fuck. He plays every game like it's his last, and he goes for the win and the win only. Us, well, not Jalen, and maybe not Josiane anymore, but play for potentially the next game, right? You don't want to. I know Josiane for a fact after Jed's Challenge 6. That was some damage control.
What?
Remember Jed's Rivals when it was just like, the reunion was just a mess and you had to like get me like, why'd you say this about the army, blah, blah, blah. Lay it out there. Josiane just didn't want me to just say shit so she didn't have people next game. I do the same thing. Everyone does it. No one wants everyone pissed at them constantly because then you consistently lose the game.
To be fair, I will say a lot of the times after once the Zoom is closed, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like if someone has an issue with me after a game, I'm like, I've moved on. And I usually don't know about it until like after the fact that I find out that I'm like soft blocked or anything. Because it's just a game. So I like that John brings that. But next time, maybe just reach out to us. If people don't reach out to you, reach out to them. Maybe not an hour before the game.
There's some games where it's like I have everyone pissed off and I just kind of bask in it. And I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. That's just how John is every game. Actually, what game did I play where I called you Josiane after? Lovers.
Oh, yeah.
I called you and I was like, Skylar's pissed at me. Everyone's pissed at me. Everyone. And Josiane calls me. Everyone's like crying, literally crying because I betrayed them. I go, I don't give a fuck. I literally don't care about any of it. And then I hang up the call and I'm like, guys, if I hurt your feelings at all, like, I'm so sorry. It was just a game.
Yeah, I don't understand why people take things so personally. I mean, at the end of the day, like, we're playing games, and I mean, I can't really, there's not a moment where like I feel like I've definitely pissed people off in games, like, don't get me wrong, but I feel like more what pisses people off whenever I play games is like just like more like my arrogance, and they like they kind of perceive it as like cocky, like I'm a cocky person or whatever. I don't necessarily piss people off by the game moves that I make. I mean, usually if I make a move that I know is like backstabbing somebody or cutting somebody or, you know, turning on somebody, I am pretty vocal about it to them before. Like, I don't really blindside a lot of people, you know what I mean, unless it's somebody that I completely don't care about.
The thing with you is, since you literally don't pregame and you're like not in the community, you kind of just show up and win, is like when people get like done dirty to you the night you meet them, you're like, they like can't blame them. Like, I just met the guy. Like,
right. Exactly. I don't think people remember, like, I don't have like that effect where people like kind of remember how I like play or how I am. So I don't really have a lot of strong super relationships with most of the people that I play with. So it's like
the risk and reward of what you do is like, you've took some fucking like first boots before. So that's the thing.
Right. Exactly.
You don't pregame. So it's like,
yeah,
it gets fucked sometimes. But yeah, but back on John. Smart dude. Fun fact, he's like a chess grandmaster. He's from, I think, New York. Medical student, I think. Smart guy. I give it to him. He always has.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's a contender.
Everything I said about him in season 1, I believe it. Like, I'm staying by that. Everything you just said about him, I'm sticking by what I said in season 2. And I'll leave it at that for the people who know me. Oh my God.
Josiane dropped something. Next up, my water bottle. From season 2. Season 2's loaded. It's got 4 players. We got James. You remember James?
Oh.
Listen. I cast him and Esther. Fun fact, Esther's on the cast. I cast them both, and I said, if you play, you have to set a camera up. Because both of them play on their fucking phone. They'll go on and off camera. I was like, Alan, I want you back, but I want to see you on your damn couch with a camera set up. Not going in and out of fucking camera on, camera off. So we'll see James in the flesh, hopefully, not like his forehead the entire time. Cool guy. He has connections. He's quiet, chill. Trying to think of who he reminds me of. Just chill. He does not talk. He's just chill. But what's interesting is he really wants to play again. Like, cause the whole time I would always like call on James to like, I was like, next up is James. I'm kind of like embarrassed. I'm like, does James really want to be here right now at all? Because he's like 3, 4, no idea what he's doing. But he literally, like, after the season, he was like, are you casting for this season? I was like, no, not yet, but I will have a returnee season, right? So yeah, I brought him back. He wants to play, which shocked me. But yeah, I'm glad to have him back.
Don't know much about him, but
it'll be interesting to see him like sitting like this, right? I can't picture that at all. Sitting like this, I'll take 3 steps. I don't know. Funny to me.
I think season 2, James was like a victim of circumstance.
Oh yes, I just remember how he got. So James was eliminated because the vote tied between him and Bryce, and neither had the tiebreaker, so it was random. So James got randomized out of the game. So maybe that's
but at the same time, you create the circumstances that you're a victim of. So
exactly.
Okay, let me give him some. Here's the thing, because me and Noah were just like, do we get James out like randomly? Because we're like, James is not a number for us. James hasn't communicated.
You guys
with
DM?
Us.
Did you guys text each other during that? It was a hands up round, and out of nowhere, you both voted James. Maybe you had discussed before.
No, we've like me and Noel never. If we did DM, we would have voted Bryce out that one time. Like, we were supposed to vote together and we didn't. So we didn't DM. I think it was prior to the like hands up round. Because we were very like respectful of that. But the conversation was like James is kind of just there, and like he like kind of, I don't want to call anyone a goat, but like someone that could just easily just make it to the end because they don't have any relationships with people, or like it's not really like in it. And so we just voted James out because we were like, that's one less number. And Bunny and Bryce were going to go after each other the whole time, so that me and Noah could kind of sit back pretty and like mind our business and then maybe take a shot like similar to that. Oh, the King vote. Like James and King were kind of players that we just wanted to take out because we knew that the other players around us were going to go after each other rather than us. So I just feel like James like didn't really do anything wrong. James was just affiliated with Bryce. Like that's really what it was.
I don't know how. I don't even remember who James was like. I've played a lot of games with James, and I'm just like, I kind of know he's close with like the quarantine gamers, those guys. So like he would have killed it on, like I know he's friends with like Josh and Sophia, like the Q gamers, you know, Josiane?
Yeah, I know. The thing is that I don't want to like toot my own horn because I feel kind of like icky about that. But the thing is that it just takes a small thing for me to like click things together. Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
He told me to continue, so I'm gonna continue. It doesn't take much for me to clue into things. And so for context, I asked James, I said, James, who are you close with? Like, who are you close with? And he said Bryce. And that to me triggered me because like at that point I knew that Bryce was good with me, Bunny, James. Like we had an alliance with Bryce and King. So I just knew that Bryce was like really well set up to win. Like when you're playing the middle so well, you kind of just like automatically just get to the end. And so I kind of knew that that's how they had the relationship because of the fact that James said, well, I'm talking and working with Bryce, who was like kind of the centerfold of everyone working with everyone at that season. So I just think maybe, I don't want to say put your cards close to your chest, but I wish James was just there more, like there in the game, like in general, like more on camera, speaking more. Like, even like we had DMs chats, and it's kind of similar like how our pregame chat was with like Bunnies, because it was like, oh, I'm watching the Survivor finale. Oh, we're both rooting for Marianne to win. Oh, Dre was a good player. It's just like general, like not game stuff. So while I'm like enjoying you as a person, I know that in the game, like you don't have that much value to me moving in the game. So I'm hoping camera on, presence on camera will help shift his game forward.
Yeah, I don't know. He just like seems like he just doesn't want to be there. But then I don't know, he wants to be there. I know for a fact he wants to play this season, so I can at least have that when I'm calling his name this time.
I think he was also high. So like, to be fair,
don't smoke. Listen, don't drink when you play SA. Maybe that'll help. Don't smoke. That takes everything away from the game. No one, bruh, if you're high as hell playing this shit, you're lost. You're done.
Nah, I couldn't imagine drinking too.
Drinking, yeah. I guess it'd be hit or miss. Maybe you start fucking balling out.
There's a difference between like drinking and being drunk, though. I mean, like if you have one or two drinks to loosen yourself up, you might be better. In general, I play games
before he plays. Maybe
both games that I played Sam Brother, I had a couple of drinks to like loosen up a little bit. But if I was drunk trying to play, I would just fucking either try to hit on everybody or fight everybody. One of the two. So
I want to see Jalen fight everybody. That'd be nice. Give him hate.
I don't think there's ever been a game where I've like.
We're on your season now.
Oh yeah, let's get it. I have some hot takes about Esther's going to be there at the end. So
yeah.
Period. And Esther's a great game player, and she's phenomenal, and she's going to be there at the end. So that's all I have to say. I mean, she's just good. She's good.
And I was pumped. She got me hype because I didn't think she enjoyed the experience, right?
Oh, I could tell she did.
But she was like, she messaged me. She's like, now that I know the game, I want to fucking win. Like, I was like, Esther, chill. You're gonna get me too excited, and that's why the season's at 10:30 now instead of fucking 10 because Esther needed it. But
yeah, no, I could tell she was usually with Esther. Like, if she's not into something, then I could tell when Esther cares and when Esther doesn't care. You know what I mean? So, and she definitely, I seemed like she cared. And that's why I was like, there was no way I could have,
she's a winner.
Voted her out.
Opinion, Josiane, the reason Esther lost is because Tyler, Jalen, Esther, final 3. Tyler keeps immunity with negative 100 steps. Neither Jalen or Esther had the tiebreaker, so randomizer decided the winner. And
I saw that bit. I was in the chat and I was actually rooting for Esther. No offense, Jalen.
Oh no, it's cool. I'm not a very rootable person compared to Esther.
No, I honestly, it wasn't even about like you. It was just about her. The thing is that Esther has this like it factor. I don't know what it is, but like even when people know,
bad bitch
and
energy.
this is why I will always have respect for Esther, like as a game player specifically, because even though she's a threat and people know it, people just don't like, I don't know if they don't deep it. Like, I know that people call, like, say I have a miss, but Esther has a miss. Like,
she's an assassin. That's why.
Like, she's just good. Like, you have to put respect where respect is due, and she's good. And I think just knowing that Price is on the cast, I'm like, okay, like that's someone who could work. But Price is also kind of sometimes like you never know if you got Price or you don't. But I think with who's on the cast so far, I feel like they might want to latch on to each other, if that makes any sense. So
definitely, like they're not gonna vote each other out or nothing. Like,
I think I would be surprised. They'll definitely work together. But I think Esther knows that Price can be a snake, so I don't think Esther will be afraid.
That's why I like that it's Price and Esther secluded, just them as friends, like no one else in their friend group, because they both will cut each other if they have to.
Yeah, and I think Esther will get the best of Price. I really do.
I would love to see just something happen between the, I don't know.
Esther, mark my words, Esther is going to be the demise of Price this game.
Well, I'm pumped to see Esther. She's just she doesn't like. When she talks, she doesn't like my problem as a player. Like if I were to play real Big Brother, you can tell when I talk, like that I'm thinking in a sense, that I'm like strategic and that I'm here to try to fucking win and I'll cut you. You can kind of tell when you get me going and you get me talking. The thing with Esther is she can put on a smile and just make you think she's just, here to float, right? She's just here to chill, right? And no one realizes how sneaky she is, how much working parts and elements of a game she could have in her hands. She can have your game in her hands and you never even know it. Like she's just a sneaky gal.
And the thing is like when she's on her phone, like the moment you're on your phone, people just like kind of count you out. Like people just kind of forget that you're there, especially if you don't communicate.
That is true.
And so when Esther does go off camera and she has those moments, like people kind of forget she's there, but she's working. Like she's working some people. She's working. She's doing whatever she needs to do. I've seen her literally be outside, like not grocery shopping. I don't know what she was doing. Win competitions. Like it's nothing. Like,
here's a tip for those watching. You want to get the best of Esther. If you have to consistently talk to Esther, or if she's consistently talking to you, you're at the bottom of the totem pole. I'll say that. If your Esther's ride or die or at the top of her list, she's not going to check in with you once. I'll say that. Yeah. Sorry, Esther, but
no, it's true. Yeah, because a lot of times when you're working with somebody who is a ride or die, everything kind of goes without saying.
She doesn't waste her time. She doesn't like people wasting her time. She doesn't waste her time, right?
Yeah.
She's efficient. All right. Next up, Tyler Biden.
I think Tyler's got a good chance of making it far. I don't know if he can win. I mean, anybody can win, but I don't know. We'll see. He's going to be up against some strong competition for sure. But he surprised me, and I think that he does a good job at making himself likable and building relationships. So
he's likable. That's the number one thing. He is likable. No one fucking doesn't like Tyler, bro. Everyone likes Tyler. I mean, come on.
I don't forget where the name Tyler Biden came from, because I remember being in the Stan YouTube chat and how chaotic that was.
The Gen Challenge with Tyler, you might not like him, right? You might have. But what was I about to say about Tyler? He's likable. What was I about to say?
I don't know. I feel like Tyler just puts his foot in his mouth. Like that's just like my experience. Like I have nothing against Tyler. The thing is, a lot of the time when I've played games with Tyler, a lot, like for example, if you and I are not working together, Dom, and Tyler's on the cast, I'm like, if I can't take a shot at you, I'm taking a shot at Tyler. Like to me, it's just like, and he does stuff to like make it worse, like rivals and that whole like a winners alliance thing.
Chooses the right people, in my opinion. He chooses the right people to get further into the game. And especially this format, here's what I was about to say. He loses. He loses every single game he plays, right? But so he came into this game where there's no competitions. If you're likable, you're not going to go home right away. If you can get numbers, you'll get a bit far. And if you're a little lucky, you might win the game. He came into this game with his mentality of he has took so many fucking L's that have hurt him a lot in games. He hates losing, and he loses, especially because he loves Jed's a challenge, and he kept coming back and back and back and just gets so close, cut, that he just fucking won immunities in this game. He was like, I don't want to be first boot in Dominic's game. I'll win the first seed. I want to make he was so focused. I want to make it far because he never makes it to that end. So he's like, I want to make it far. He won it was a 7-person cast. He won 3 safeties and he kept all 3. This dropped his step count because those auctions add up. So so he makes it to final 3, negative 80 steps. That's not how you win. So he kind of lost track of that aspect. Then he's in final 2. Very proud of himself. I'm very proud of making that final 2. Now that he's had that taste, right? He's had a taste of that final 2. He knows he doesn't necessarily need those safeties to make it far. Hopefully he walks into this game knowing the format, a little confident. He knows Price. He knows Esther. He knows all the players he played with. He has potential to be likable in this no pregame game, to just kind of slip by as Tyler Biden. Maybe the James will get picked off early. The Kings will get picked off early. No offense to you two. The quieter players, I mean, might get picked off a little early. And then these loud players, maybe a friend group might form. Maybe Price, Esther, Kat, I'll say, is in there. Maybe all of them kind of group up. And, Tyler Biden, hop along, because he picks the right players. He picks them. He has a sense, and he kind of picks them. He kind of bros down. So I could see Price, how's it going? Maybe because he was really drawn to Kat as well when he was watching season 4. He really likes Kat. I could see that happening as well. And if those players all link up and say, hey, Tyler Biden, hop along, and he doesn't need those safeties, he keeps his steps up, suddenly he finds himself in final 3 in winner contention. Maybe he wins a randomizer, and fuck it, Tyler Biden's the winner.
I would love a Tyler win. I just my thing is just because someone likes you or knows you doesn't mean that they have your back. That's what, again, you and I have 2 different perspectives, because one thing about Tyler, he's gonna ride for you. I don't get the same.
From an outside perspective, people get pissed off at the fact that he's so loyal to me.
I don't care, because Victoria is one of my girls. I love Victoria after Rivals. That's my girl. And I know that she rides for you. I couldn't give less of a fuck. But for me, it's more so he rides for specific people, and I don't see that with that cast where it's automatically gonna be receptive. And I feel like he's likable, but a lot of the times people find him disposable. And I think for him to win, he does have to have those allies secured, where he's not at the bottom of it, or he's not the disposable one within that group. Because again, I do like the conversations I've had with Tyler have been great. He's a nice guy, but in game senses, to me, he's kind of been a little bit more disposable than other players.
I can see that perspective. This is kind of the same sense of Kyler when I was talking about Kyler and Tyler. If they can just walk into that call, know the game, and people can kind of, the thing with Big Brother is it builds a society, right? It builds a group of people, and everyone's gonna there's gonna be the popular kids, there's gonna be the outcasts, right? That's how it kind of forms. If you can kind of build yourself a sense of, get people to kind of more respect you as a player, and you get that respect, that authority, and people look at you as oh shit, it's Tyler, he's smart, let's fucking work with him, and you get people to want to work with you, you'll have that kind of charisma, and you'll have that bubble around you where it's people want to work with you. Because in a state of confusion, and it happens a lot in SA, when everyone's confused of what to do, they're going to go to whoever they view as that authority, that higher figure, that person they know knows what's going on, that person they can trust. 99% of the time, it is going to be Jalen, Josiane, Dominic, one of us. We're going to be in that game, and when people are confused, they're going to be like, Jalen, who are we voting? Who are we voting, bro? Jalen gets something done that he wanted to get done. Boom. Before they know it, Jalen's won the game, right? That's how it's going to happen. Tyler needs, and this is something I personally had to build for myself. Like I had to teach myself. Like I didn't come into these games as a 14-year-old kid and everyone wanted to work with that little fucking scrawny white boy that was in the game. No, not at all. But over time, you get this reputation, which is big. If you can build a reputation where you're winning games and people are comfortable with you, they will respect you. When you have that respect, then it just comes easy at that point. Then you walk into a game and you know you're making Final Four, right? And that's just how it happens. Tyler needs to, over time, build that respect. And I think this game could be a pinnacle moment for him if he can talk his shit on that call and kind of organize people where he wants to organize them, maybe call some shots, be like, I don't know. He kind of polarizes himself in a way at sometimes where he'll be on call and he'll be like, guys, let's vote out this person. That polarizes yourself in the sense there's a north and a south. You say, I want to vote this person. Ooh, I want to vote you now. Then it's these two players. Everyone votes between these two players. Tyler needs to figure out a way to talk on call and not polarize himself where he has two people at it again. That's what Josiane has mastered. Josiane can sit in a call and have Bunny and Bryce go at it for 2 cycles, right? And then you sit back and in the game, right? So you got to fixate people on each other and then view you as a more respectable player where they know they're not going to control you in the sense that you're going to bite back if they do. That's my take on Tyler.
What I would like from Tyler, and like, I don't know, it's a concept. It depends on the cast. I don't know, but there's times, and as like you guys can tell me, you guys have played so many times. So, but there's times where you can go negative in the beginning, and then everyone kind of counts you out, and then you come back, and then you end up being in the same realm as everyone because everyone tries to say like around a specific range of numbers. I think Tyler should use that to his advantage. This man is negative. What was it? A negative 120. Like it was bad. Okay. And credit.
And on reputation, you don't have to necessarily have a good reputation. Everyone has a reputation as an individual. Tyler's, if I had to lay it out, funny, doesn't win, maybe not as good as comps, right? Just kind of like, there, right? And people kind of view that, oh, I'm either going to work with Tyler or, oh, I can vote him out if I can, right? He needs, if he can use his reputation, maybe drop his steps low a little bit, maybe maybe wins the first safety. I would totally give him first safety. Like I think that's a good strategy for him. Take that first safety. You're sitting at negative 50. Move along, right? Keep it moving. Maybe make a big deal about how little steps you have. I always comment on who has the least steps. So if I'm always saying Tyler has the least steps, shit, it could be final 9 and people might not vote you out because you have the least amount of steps.
Absolutely.
And it kind of also plays into his factor where he's like weaker, a funny guy. He can kind of play on his he knows his role. I've talked to him. He knows his role, right? He knows how people view him. He's not stupid. He's self-aware. He knows people view him as funny Tyler Biden 99% of the time. If he can play up that part and kind of just sit back and let people take Tyler Biden, to the end, and then fucking turn it up, pull a move, blindside something, make something happen. What keeps him from that is that he is so nervous because he hates losing. He doesn't want to lose again. So he goes to where he's comfortable, and that's safety. Safety drops your steps. Final 2, lose the game. That's exactly what happened. And I'm scared that's going to happen again. Or he's going to adjust and get voted out, something. But I want to see him switch it up and prosper. I guess that goes for every player. But yeah, I'm a big Tyler Biden fan. I like analyzing him.
Potential. He's got potential. For sure.
He does. But next up, Ashley. You guys know Ashley Simmons?
Yeah, I think she has a good chance of winning. That was somebody from my cast who I kind of felt threatened by just because I feel like I think she's smart. You know what I mean? From what I could tell, like she seems like a player who's smart and something that's like in order to win strategic aspect, it kind of like she miscalculated the move but it's going to take moves like that in order to win. Like whenever she gave safety to Nick, whenever she got voted out because she gave safety to Nick, it takes moves like that, like just bold moves, not necessarily what she did, but just bold moves in general in order to be able to win. And she's shown that she's willing to do that. It didn't work out, but hey, everybody takes risks. That's how, you find successes, by taking risks. So I think that she has a good chance of winning. So,
Josiane, you made a look when we said Ashley.
No, I love Ashley.
Okay.
I literally love her. I just have we played a game together and we kind of just was Ashley playing with her girlfriend? I can't remember, but we kind of just like wrote it out to the very end. And then when we played the fast game with Nick, me and Ashley had your back. And then I don't know who else was playing, but someone else had your back too. It was a lot of chaos. All that to say, love Ashley. I think she should leverage what she does in the past. I think a lot of players need to leverage their past in this game. And I think she could. If she goes out to someone, she's like, she doesn't have to say it like flat out like that. But if you say, well, like, look at the past game I just played, I gave my loyalty to someone and it cost me, but I don't regret it. I'm a loyal player. I'll have you like I had that person. I think that could secure a lot of relationships. And she's like known. So like people on this cast can gravitate towards her and want to work with her. And then she can use that as a leverage point. And she didn't, from my understanding, I didn't really watch that season like until like maybe the end of the game. Like I think I watched it when Emerson left. And so she didn't make it too far in the game. So I don't think people are going to be asked by her than like someone who was in the final two. Mm-hmm. So I think she could do damage. And Ashley's a good player. Like she's smart. I haven't seen her in the strategic games like mindset. So I can't comment too much on that. I can just comment on her as a player that I've played with, but she's been loyal to me and I fucking love Ashley. So I hope she does well.
Ashley Simmons is a top tier player. Out of all the players I've played with of all time, she is up there. She is up there for sure. The thing that got me to like her so much is her DM games, how she prospers in those. Like she can kill a long survivor game, right? The thing with Ashley is she's smart. She's a genius. She's so good at these games. She has that kind of mist. Ashley does. And she comes into these one night games and it's almost like she doesn't care if she loses, right? Because she doesn't really she's like, it's one night. I don't care. I wish she would just fucking want to like win and do everything in her power to win. She does, but it's like she kind of loses and she's like, okay, I'm gonna go smoke or something. I don't know. Like she doesn't care. I want her like I don't know how to build it within her. I want her to be like devastated if she loses. Like I want her to be like put her ego on the line. That's the thing, is she's so humble. I don't think she's ever bragged about anything in her entire life, but I wish she would be like a cocky piece of shit. Like I really want to see Ashley like get just hated and just like be like and just flaunt it, just like, because I know she could. I know she easily could. That's the thing. And yeah, she kind of flopped and she gave immunity away.
What happened? Can you give me a little bit of context on that? Like, was she working with? I know people just don't be fucking with Nick sometimes on games.
Yeah,
but, like,
what did
love Nick?
Man,
that's my bestie, but I can't.
I never realized like Nick don't got it like he used to. He man.
No, I don't think he's ever.
Jalen don't like Nick.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Okay.
Okay.
Nick's not on the season. Nick's not on the season.
Sometimes it's just a vibe with the person. Like,
bro, you cannot say I look at someone and I hate them and not. That means you don't like them.
Okay, but in retrospect,
one of the meanest things I've ever heard Jalen say.
I know I probably shouldn't have said that because like he was cool to me after the season, and sometimes you misjudge people, but like I don't know. Sometimes you just like. I think I played a game with him. I think it was like Shane's game or something like that. Oh, okay. And I think he was teamed up with Stan. It was a duo season.
Oh, okay.
Especially when you have Legend as your partner, Jalen.
Yeah, he was with Stan, and like they just rubbed. I think they voted out Colleen and Esther or something from the start, and it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And like, I don't know. Nick. It just wasn't. I hate saying this line, but it just wasn't giving. Like, it just wasn't giving. I don't know. Like.
not giving what it needed to give?
Yeah, it wasn't
giving.
It wasn't giving what it needed to give. So like I don't know. I just whenever I said that, I was like, damn, that's mean. But like it wasn't like I don't dislike anybody like except for a few people.
Between you and Nick. Nick's not on the season. We're talking about Ashley right now.
Yeah, but Nick is Nick. But yeah.
Ashley and Nick are apparently super close.
Yeah, they were working together.
I never knew that. Ashley wanted to visit Nick. Apparently.
Ashley?
Yeah, she posted like some like I'm heading to Toronto. Maybe it was a joke, but
oh no, Nick and Ashley are good. Like they're like solid friends. I don't know where that stemmed from.
I maybe my game BB Sim 13. I casted them both.
I think I had a conversation with Nick where I was just like, I fucking love Ashley, work with fucking Ashley. But like I don't know like really where that like that deep. But they like when they were on the scene together, I was like, oh, they're gonna fucking work together. Like
oh yeah, but more
less. But I didn't realize
casting them. I didn't know that, but I guess it ended up being kind of like I don't know, balanced. It was a two-sided game, and
yeah. But the only reason that we found out that they were close was because of Emerson. So like that was something that I probably would have eventually put it together, but I figured it out in the first cycle. So I think if she can do a good job of keeping her alliances like low key, then she'll be good. But yeah, Emerson was working with them, and that was the only way I figured out that her and Nick were close like that. So I just think
people first vote. So Tyler's safe. First vote. Emerson, Ashley, Nick all voted Derek. Derek, Esther, Jalen all voted Nick. Emerson had the tiebreaker, sent Derek home.
Yeah.
Then next cycle, and Emerson wasn't like choosing. She pretty much was
Derek
just home.
Derek like Washington.
Yeah.
Derek Washington. Yes.
Aren't Derek Washington and Nick? Well, anyways,
That's what I said. I was like Nick. I thought you and Derek were like boys.
Like the way I met Nick is like not like us three specifically, but like it was a larger group of people. But like we hung out like almost every single day for like a long period of time during the pandemic. Yeah. So that's surprising me.
I know, and they like voted each other. I was like, I think I messaged Nick. I was like, "Are you not pre-gaming with Derek at all?" And he's like, "I thought Derek died. Like he has not. I have not talked to him in like a year almost." I'm like, "What? How? What?
Y'all things change, people change, I guess."
Right, and then I cast them, and they just kind of casually just voted each other out. I don't know.
What? That's wild. Nick should have taken Derek out.
That was gonna be like. I thought that was gonna be the alliance no one knew
expected. Yeah. I feel like.
And then it just didn't fall through, and then it kind of took Ashley.
Okay. Maybe I need to watch y'all season from start to end. This is interesting to me.
It was interesting, but then next vote, Ashley wins safety, and she gives it to Nick because she was like, Nick just got 3 votes. Let's make sure he's safe. I guess she was comfortable or something. And Ashley's gone.
I will never understand giving safety. I'm sorry. I get that there's a strategy. There's a science.
2 people have given away safety. I think the only people to give away safety.
And they both left. Don't get me started on Alex.
Safety is if you are, it's 50-50. There are 2 sides, even in votes. No one has the tiebreaker. Someone wins immunity. You give it to the other side. Hope they keep it. You have majority.
Yeah.
That's the only time.
I've thought about that. Yeah.
The only time giving immunity away means something is if you're trying to make them lose the vote so you can gain a majority. That's it.
Yeah, you shouldn't give immunity to somebody because you're trying to keep them safe. No. The only way that you should give immunity to somebody is trying to take away a vote. That's the most powerful thing with immunity. It's not even necessarily safety, or I should call it safety. That's the most powerful thing with safety, in my opinion, is not necessarily that you're safe, or that the person is safe, is that they can't vote or you can't vote. So I think that people leveraging that better, but I personally would never give it away to somebody. I don't think. I think destroying it is a better tactic if you're trying to use it, but I use it for the voting.
And if you get given, after hearing this, for players, if they're watching, taking notes, whatever, if you get given immunity in the future, someone gives you immunity, use your decisiveness. There may not be trying to get rid of your vote, right? They might actually be like Ashley, kind of being gracious, but when you're giving someone immunity, it pretty much should come down to that person knows the game, right? That person should know the 2 sides at that point. And when you get given immunity, it's pretty much, is this person going to value this vote over being safe, right? If they think they're in trouble, there might be a chance of keeping it, and that's how the two sides will battle. You'll see one player gives it to this player, I'm gonna give it to this player, and it's a game of chicken. Who's gonna keep it because they're scared they're gonna go home. It's almost like going to rocks, right? If you're scared that you're the vote and you don't want to see a randomizer, you'd be like, fuck it, I'm sorry, keep it, take your chances at final 5, and maybe you win another safety, fuck around, I don't know. It's just that it's like who's gonna switch their vote almost in a sense.
Yeah.
That should be kind of how it plays out. But yeah, some people give immunity away, and that person just like doesn't think, they keep it. Oh, my number 1 ally is gone. Whoops.
Yeah.
All right. Season 4, we got 3 players left. Catherine Orange, Jalen's ex, is playing.
What are we talking, like 6 years ago? Yeah, that was some crazy times. I don't know. I think
I should be laughing. I have an ex from Twitter, so it's fine. let me shut up.
I have multiple. So
Jalen dabbles in the Twitter streets. I remember Jalen told me, he was like, man, like, why won't you go for any of these girls? Why won't you e-date? I'm like, I'll never e-date. I'm not doing
okay.
that.
First of all, I've never called it e-dating. Okay. You call it e-dating. I don't call it e-dating. But no, because I've been there, done that. And it's like, you meet some cool people and it's a good platform to build good relationships with people. And you're a better guy than I am. So I knew that if you got into something, that it would be something that would last. See, like, I'm a piece of shit. So
I'm on your wavelength now. Don't worry.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you build, like, bro, some reason long distance relationships are like, they work. You know what I mean? If you can make it work. And then you're in a position now where, bro, like, dude, you know what I mean? So I knew it would happen, but because you're a better guy than I am.
I'm just thinking of Jalen's like Twitter notches in a sense. Just
one, what?
Just one after the other.
I can go through them.
Yeah, that's a different podcast. Okay.
I should get a couple of them to play. One in mind, I really want to play.
No, who was it? Someone pitched like an ex, like exes. Jed was like exes season, blah blah blah. I was like, Jed, it would never work. And then I realized how many people have dated each other. And
all right, I'll list them off. Let's list them off for Jalen. We got.
Oh my god.
Okay, I won't.
I mean, I don't care, but it's just like
there's J.
What are the letters of the alphabet?
Was that what did that one from Stan Brother click?
Oh yes. I forgot about that. See, that's what I mean by I'm a bad person.
So bad.
Oh yeah.
All right, but Kat,
oh wow.
Kat's the original Jalen flirt. That's the original. Back in the day, like 15
we'll call
years
them
old.
flirt manses.
LOL. I just said that, I started to think about mine, and I was like, oh shit, I got some too. So let me not say.
Yeah, no, it's Kat. I think is a good game player, but I don't know. She might be disconnected because she hasn't really been around Twitter for that long, hasn't been around Twitter recently. So
she's got it still, in my opinion. After watching her play season 4, blown away by
she's
Kat.
smart.
I was like, she's gotten smarter than she used to. Like back, like I say, Kat's a great player, but back in the day, she wasn't like a great player. She was Kat, like, right? She didn't win, like she never won SA, but like everyone loves Kat, right? Kat came back. She has this look in her eyes, and she was ready to blindside people. Like she was basking in that. Like she voted out Alex when he least expected. She voted out Gavin Effie when he least she doubled up people. She was there to play and make moves, almost like Price would. And she was talking like she was batting the shit with DeMonica, and DeMonica was like cussing her out a bit, and Kat would like get smart with her, and then DeMonica kind of just chuckle and be like,
wait, Gavin, Effie, and DeMonica played on the same season?
They did, and they like worked together in like the worst way possible.
Oh my God.
I think Gavin's opening line to DeMonica in DMs, the first DM that was made was, "I'm finally 18, you're hot," or something.
Oh my gosh. Sounds like Gavin.
My goodness.
And DeMonica was just like, DeMonica didn't know who he was at first. Who the hell?
Yeah.
They have a long history together.
A very long history. A very interesting one too.
Holy cow. Fucked up history. They're funny.
That's
but like, listen, this is where Kat goes wrong. Kat's a genius. She knows the game. She loves to make big moves. She abuses the format in the sense she can blindside whoever she wants. right? But when she does that, she gets to the end and she doesn't have someone that has her back, right? She needs someone that's going to be like ride or die. Like season 2, it was her and Bryce. She had Bryce to the moon. Like they were FaceTiming and stuff. Like, and I can say, Bryce, you think Bryce had everyone, Josiane. He would have actually rode with Kat. Like Kat and Bryce would have been a duo. She needs a duo. She had that in the sense she could have had Gavin. Gavin knew no one. He would have been like, yeah, Kat, let's fucking do it. And if Kat just worked with Gavin to the very end, she wins the game 100%. But season 4, she got to the end with Brooklyn, DeMonica, and Jay.
It was over.
It was Brooklyn's game to lose at that point. Jay kept immunity, and without even speaking, DeMonica and Brooklyn knew to vote Kat. DeMonica, literally, the first thing she says when Jay keeps immunity at Final Four, Kat, I want to vote Brooklyn. And Kat's just like, really? Okay. And kind of takes it. And Brooklyn's like, no, don't. Meanwhile, Brooklyn and DeMonica are just faking it and just fucking around. They're going to vote together. Kat kind of goes, I think she kind of knew almost, like she called the bluff. And she goes, Brooklyn, she just said she wants to vote you. I want to vote DeMonica, right? She flipped it on that. So she could have easily, if I was Kat, I'm like, fuck it, I'll vote Brooklyn. Let's go, DeMonica. You have negative 220 steps. But no, Kat goes, Brooklyn, I want to vote DeMonica. DeMonica's still, Kat, no, let's vote Brooklyn. Brooklyn's literally just laughing. She has no idea what to do because she can't tell if DeMonica's serious or not.
Yeah.
So she's like, fuck, is DeMonica really about to vote me? And then Brooklyn kind of closes her eyes. She presses send. And then she just sits there and I reveal the votes. And both of them voted Kat. DeMonica loses her mind. Brooklyn, I love you. Yes. Like, it was fucking hilarious. I don't know why DeMonica went out of her way to just fucking fuck with Brooklyn like that.
Sounds like DeMonica.
But it's what happened. Kat got just fucked because they were a duo. And yeah, had it been DeMonica kept safety, Brooklyn and Jay would have voted Kat out. Had it been Brooklyn safe, DeMonica and Jay probably vote Kat out.
I don't know. I feel like the way, and after season 2 and y'all being like, the like alumni coming in and be like, well, if Kat was on the season, Josie, da-da-da. I'm like, okay. And so again, people need to do their research. I don't know. I personally would do my research. Like if I see Kat on the cast after the alumni has hyped her up, quote tweeted her tweets, all of that stuff, I'm like,
they don't help her. Hey? They never help her.
They don't like. I mean, you know, hype up your friends. I'm all here for hyping people up, but a lot of the times I ask my friends not to quote tweet my shit. I'm like, don't do it. Like if I have 2 likes on it, I don't care. Like, just don't hype me up. Hype me up via text message, whatever. It's cool.
Your winner tweet. Just wait for the winner tweet to quote.
Yeah, I'm like, then you can put the fan cams, everything, go crazy, put the gifs. I don't care. But yeah, I feel like that's a disservice in her favor, and also the way she played the game. Like, Kat's a scary player, and like people are building up her reputation. Like Price came on that Zoom and was just talking about Kat. Wow. I'm interested to see how Price is going to play with Kat on the
Here's the thing. With Kat and Price, I was literally thinking about this. It's really unfortunate. They are marvelous players, but they've passed that threshold where their reputation is preceding them as a player, where they are known for being great at games, but that hinders them because they aren't winning games. So because they're known for being great at winning they're known for being great at games, it causes them to lose games. Yeah. So they're just known for being great and never winning. They've just passed that line where it's like, fucked. Like,
and the thing is, I wouldn't have known unless when other people see casts and stuff like that and like put their 2 cents in, that's when you kind of lose. That's why I think that's like, if anyone from the Twitter community comes on Big Brother, it's good that like the cast is secluded, because then people start tweeting, oh my God, they're so good at blah, blah. It just like changes the game on a different level. Not everyone's like this. I'm just talking as someone who's like very hypercritical and like looks at everything, like the smallest things, but like that doesn't play favors. And I don't know, that's the most recent season. If anyone's going to look at a season again to like refresh their memory, it's going to be that one. So I don't know.
I think it depends. Who else is on from season 4?
We got Pranav.
Oh,
I'm interested.
I saw Pranav's tweet about right after he got blindsided. Was Kat part of the blindside, or was it just Alex?
It was, well, Kat wasn't in Pranav's alliance, so it wasn't like
okay.
It was Pranav, Alex, Brooklyn, and Jay. They were all in alliance and just fucking voted Pranav out. So, and mostly because Alex and Pranav are like kind of like close. I didn't know that, but they're kind of close. And Alex was in my DMs like, I gotta vote Pranav. He's too spontaneous. I can't trust him. Whatever. Voted Pranav out. But I was looking forward to seeing Pranav win the game. The thing with Pranav, he needs to latch on to someone. Because he kind of just joins the call and just fucks around, right? He messages people, whatever. He needs to actually lock on to someone and make them play up that he's kind of their GOAT, right? If he locked on to someone like a player like one of us, and we viewed Pranav as he's going to do whatever I say, I know he's never going to vote me out, he'll go far. The thing is he doesn't latch on to someone. He needed to latch on to like Gavin Etheridge this season. He needed to, because he's smart. He's strategic. He found the special 10 when no one else could. It was a little link on the screen. You click on the link. It says, say this phrase out loud for a power.
Pancakes.
What?
Was that the pancakes thing that he said randomly out loud?
Thing. Yeah, that was the phrase.
Oh my God.
But no one
so thrown off.
So he's observant in the sense, like I kept making that link even bigger to the point I was pointing arrows at it on the screen. No one thought to go type it in. So the fact that he was able to kind of do it, I'm like, okay, I'm proud of Pranav. Obviously he was voted out with it that cycle, so whatever. But I am looking forward to seeing Pranav play. Smart guy. He's entertaining and has connections. And if he can latch on to one player, maybe Cat, I think because he's played with Cat now, I think he can do it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Pranav, but I'll be interesting. That's a good point because I'll be interested to see how like the seasons kind of like if it's like a seasons alliance or what the deal is. But sick. I think it'll be a good season because there'll be a lot of cross like strategy. Like there'll be a season alliance, but then like people like Price and Esther are obviously going to work together, and so it's going to be interesting.
All right, and then let's see through this last one. We got Jay season 4.
Oh, Jay, always a good chance at winning. Jay always has a good chance at winning.
I don't know if he has the best chance at winning, but I will say I see him getting runner-up.
Yeah, so that's true. I mean, he's gonna make it far. Like he's just one of those players that you can just honestly, pencil it in.
His stats, he's got the most assists in the game. Like
yeah, I think he's a loyal player. So if you can
we'll give the layup for someone to dunk any day. Like, that's just in my opinion.
Give me a little bit more context on this from like the back end of things. Why was it that everyone just kept like taking his points and like trying to double him up with people? Like what was going on for him to always be so the target kind of?
He wasn't necessarily the target, but he kept getting votes. He kept getting like votes. I don't know if he just didn't build the best connections or he just didn't have connections, but he kept getting votes. I think round 1, he got a hinky vote. Round 2, it was between him and Pranav because, DeMonica was safe and lied on call and told Pranav that Jay was saying his name for this is just what happened. It's just DeMonica said it. It was a lie. And then Pranav and Jay kind of started going at it. Jay got a penalty vote for screenshotting something and then didn't get any votes for the rest of the game. And then he could have won the game. At final 3, he won safety. It was DeMonica versus Brooklyn. Neither had the tiebreaker vote. Traditionally, DeMonica votes Brooklyn. Brooklyn votes DeMonica. Randomize. Someone moves on. Had DeMonica moved on, Jay wins the game, right? So Jay should have got a 50% chance at winning, but DeMonica voted herself out, knowing she had no chance at winning, letting Brooklyn win the game. So, yeah, that's what happened. So Jay could have easily won the game. He's one of those. In a different universe, he wins the season. So
that's why I'm a little concerned for him. I would love to see Jay win. Like I have no.
Mike's super quiet.
What?
You got super quiet suddenly.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Hold on. Let me just step this forward. Okay, I hope that's better. I was trying to say I don't mind having Jay win a season, but to me, the fact that last season is so hard to pinpoint why exactly he was always at the forefront when I feel like a lot of the times you have to be at the back of this game. Like that to me is concerning because if we can't see why that was happening, who's to say that it won't repeat itself again this time? And I don't know Jay's relationships because I don't necessarily have like a closeness with him, but I see a lot of strong relationships already within this group. And I think he's someone who might end up in an alliance, but he might be at the bottom totem pole. But that's because I don't really know his connections personally. So I could be saying this and being wrong, and he's besties with someone for 12 years. Who knows? But that to me is a little concerning. That's why I can't like be like, yeah, Jay's a definite contender because of like what I saw last season.
What I've noticed about Jay kind of came out of his shell a while ago. He kind of like, I was like, Jay kind of like started talking to shit. It's when he started hanging out on Discord with a lot of people and kind of like, I don't know. He made these friends where you can kind of talk his shit and kind of like fucking just fuck around, right?
Yeah.
And I've noticed, and he kind of evolved, especially in Jed's challenge. He got this like ego about himself, right? And he would talk his shit, right? I loved it. I love seeing Jay kind of like fight with people and like just like have these friends, have these allies. He became a serious player. I have a specific memory playing with him. He was partners with Justin, and I kept referring to the duo as Justin. And he called my ass out. He was in power. He's like, are you just gonna, he's like, say my name when you say our partners, right? Because I kept addressing Justin. I was like, okay, yes. Yeah. I was like, dang, like that's kind of like something old Jay wouldn't have done. Like most players would have kind of just sit back. Because when you're playing a duos game, like who the power person is in that duo, and you'll literally refer to, you won't even you'll ignore the other person, right?
Yeah.
And Jay was kind of asserting himself. He says he wants to be, he knows what he needs to be, right? And the thing is he only gets like that, sorry Jay, when he's playing with his friends, right? If he's comfortable and he's surrounded by a lot of people that he talks with on a daily basis, he'll be present. He'll talk a lot, and he'll have that attitude that Jay can bring. But when you put him in a game where he doesn't really know anyone, he's quiet. And that's just, that's what happens. But power players come into any game and can make the friends and can talk on call and keep that energy consistently. Like they can be that confident, charismatic person no matter the game. It doesn't matter who's in there. As long as they can talk, there's going to be a platform for them to talk. Jay kind of, if he's not in a game with people he's comfortable with, and that's kind of just an introverted thing that people do in real life, right? That's just
that I do the same thing.
That's Jay as a person. If you walk into a bar and you know no one, you're obviously not going to be the life of the party, right?
Yeah.
Right. If you go into a bar where it's people from college, high school, family, friends, you'll be lit, right? Jay's the same way. He shows up to a game where people he doesn't know, maybe he's a little confused by the format, quiet. Whereas if he's playing just the challenge and he's made the final 4 times and he's playing with all the people he's played with before and made finals with, he's going to talk his shit. So now that it's a returnee season, hopefully Jay fucking brings it. Maybe he doesn't lay on his bed the whole time this time.
He does he not have a relationship now with like Esther and Bryce because of those Discord calls? I don't know. I don't be on Discord anymore.
I don't know.
So,
but like, I think that there's definitely a connection there in the past.
Yeah.
Work with them. I think
he could work with them for sure. Again, we don't know what the Price Esther dynamic will be, but they could definitely work together. So that could be an advantage for Jay.
Who beefs with who? I don't know.
We'll find out.
I can tell you.
Price will be good for sure. I never know if Esther doesn't like someone. I never know.
But Jay's funny too. Like I follow Jay on TikTok. He's one of the one of the people I like on TikTok all the time. That man is funny. I want to see him like give that energy on the call. I feel like if he does that, even when he's being timid, like last season, he was still saying some funny shit. Like Jay is funny. So I think what I've realized so far with every player that we've talked about is that one, people need to know their characters and step into that, like whether it's whatever it may be. And then 2, being more present. I think those are like the 2 factors. I think people need to just like assess that for themselves and be a little bit more self-aware of the game that they played, the realities of the game as a whole, and then like stepping within themselves to improve their game to win. Because that's the whole point of second chances, right? So
I agree. All right. Now, one last thing. We're going to go one by one real quick. Pick a player. We're going to draft. All right. One player will get chose.
One player?
Right. There's going to be a player that doesn't get chosen. They're going to be very offended to see this, but hey, happens. All right.
Wait, steps? So you have to send me. You have to send me the cast
Josiane
again.
has more steps on the Steps of Fame. Josiane, you pick first.
Who's on the cast?
I'm not saying cast.
We just talked so much that I can tell you who's on the cast.
Copy. Not Brooklyn was in here. She messaged in the winner's circle and
oh no.
Sorry, Brooklyn.
Oh, I thought you meant like she was in the waiting room like the whole time.
Oh no, I would have saw that. All right, I just sent you guys the cast on Twitter.
I think I know who I'm gonna pick. I just have to see this whole entire cast before
We're gonna blow through it. Ignore the fire emojis. That's just who's checked in with me.
I'm picking Esther.
Oh no!
Stay in the chat.
Yeah.
Stay in the chat so we keep track.
That was gonna be my first
Jalen,
pick.
who are you picking? Who's your number one draft pick?
Damn.
Yeah, I got you, didn't I?
I guess I'll just go with Price then.
Oh, go on.
To kind of counter that, because I think they'll go far. So I'll just hope that Price can win.
I'm not sure how the no pre-game's gonna play into this.
I think it'll be honestly, this is just me thinking. I think pre-existing relationships are going to be a big factor into it because
game, yeah.
Because you just default when you pregame, you can kind of open yourself up a little bit more. Whereas like when you don't pregame, you kind of have to go based off history. And then when people start messaging you, you're like, they're fucking disingenuous. Like that's the vibe that I usually get from these games.
Number one pick from the host. Give me Prenoy. That's what I'm picking.
Okay. I'm gonna pick Bestie.
Reverse this? Do I get another pick or no? Okay.
Oh, well, I said mine.
Good pick.
I'm picking John.
I'll pick Ashley.
Good one.
So we got Kyler King, Bunny, James, Tyler Biden,
Cat,
Pranav J. Give me Cat.
Okay.
That's gonna be my next pick.
All right, Josie. So by the math, Josie should have the winner on her team since she gets the first pick, right?
And then you're setting me up because
I think if there was betting odds, Esther would be the favorite. So
okay, let's see. I'm trying to see who's not picked. You know what? I'm gonna pick. Ooh, there's some sleeper picks in here.
I have my sleeper pick.
Oh, I'm debating which one. I'm trying to think which one you guys want to pick or would pick so that I can pick them.
I'm paying neither you pick them. Pick them.
You think I'm gonna pick Tyler because I'm not picking Tyler? Okay. I think I'm gonna do Jay.
Okay.
I know who your sleeper pick is, and I kind of want to pick him just to be funny, but I'm not going to because I don't think he's gonna win. So
are we talking about Kyler?
Yeah, that's what I picked.
I was debating between Kyler.
Is that your sleeper pick, Dom?
No.
That's what I figured your sleeper pick was. So
me too. Yeah. Although I think the other person who could, I don't know. Damn, Jay is a good pick too.
They're all good. They're all good picks.
This is true.
I'll go with
something just hit me. Okay, I'm gonna say it until after I pick.
I'll go with
I need a shot clock. Come on, Jalen.
I know, bro. It's hard.
Go out. Go.
All right, I'll just go with Tyler.
Yes, give me Bunny. That's what I'm taking. That's my
what?
Bunny.
Really? Love Bunny.
Bunny.
But okay, I'm gonna pick King because I think King has relationships with Esther and Price, and I think that could also be like a sleeper.
King knows what they're doing.
Oh, I'm just picking a lot of people of color. Okay, great. Love this for me.
There's like a solid 2 or 3 white people on the cast.
This is true. I was gonna say black people, and then I realized that. So that's why I had to switch up.
All right, Jalen, you got.
Oh, it's me again.
We all 3 picks, right? Or no, we need one more.
Yeah. I'll go with Kyler.
Okay.
Probably should have picked James, but
Tyler Biden.
No, I picked him.
You picked Tyler?
Yeah.
You just did.
I picked Tyler and Kyler. Yeah.
Tyler.
So it should be Pranav, James.
Pranav and James?
Yeah.
Oh.
James, I just have not seen enough of you. I just know Pranav a lot more personally, so I'm going to pick Pranav. So James goes unpicked.
If James wins, it's giving me Kevin. We
James
can't.
Undrafted? James, I just haven't seen enough of him, you know? Season 2, right? He wasn't very vocal. I mean, I just didn't see much of him. I haven't seen him play a lot of games in general. That's the thing. I don't know what he's capable of. I've heard great things though from Josh and Sophia. But I don't know. He has a want to win. I think he could do it. I would be very interested. I'm interested to see now our undrafted pick how he does. But
wait, he's friends with Josh. Who?
Josh
T from season 1.
I will say, if you would have put Nick on the cast, I think James could have kind of eat with that one.
I didn't want to do Nick and Ashley again.
Okay, fair. It's because James and Nick have met in person now.
Nick's goddamn everyone, bruh.
Well, he went to where was it? He went to, I don't know, a bunch of people like Sophia's group. Those people, all of them just
James
went
was there?
to one. Yeah, James was there. Well, I don't know. Me and Nick had a conversation about who was going to be there.
I did not know James did.
And I was told James was there. I can't confirm if he was there, but I was told that he was there.
All right.
So,
Josiane, bold prediction for the season. Something crazy out there. Give us a bold prediction. Not a winner pick, but something very specific that's going to happen. Bold prediction.
I mean, I feel like it wouldn't be a bold prediction, I guess, that people are going to start yelling on call. So I'm trying to think what would be a bold prediction. That's unexpected.
I'll give mine.
Oh, yeah, please do.
I'll go with mine. Esther cuts Price at Final Four.
I knew Jalen would do that. Yeah. So Esther cuts Price at when?
Final Four.
Final Four. Josiane, anything crazy specifically?
I feel like there's going to be a lot of plurality votes, not majority votes.
Okay. Especially the first cycle, 13 people.
Yeah.
My sick prediction, Kat gets randomized out of the game.
That's so specific.
That is specific.
I say that because they did not give a fuck about the tiebreaker vote season 4. They didn't. So I think it's going to happen. I think Kat's going to face it.
Which is so crazy to me. Season 4 just feels like an anomaly.
But I will say this is the end. Thanks you guys for coming, my winners. Brooklyn and Sophia can make it. But thank you guys. This has been fun. Can't wait for people to watch it and maybe learn, maybe hate us a little more. Can't wait for the criticism.
Oh, God.
Thank you guys.
So how long the game is – oh, wait, end it. You can end it. Yep.